Wow, a really good Netflix original movie? Okay. One of Jake Gyllenhaal's best performances ever? Okay. This is my review of The Guilty. I usually go into spoilers in all of my reviews, but I don't want to ruin the plot for you if you haven't seen this yet. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's a fun little thriller with a few twists and turns. So, no spoilers here. This film is a remake of a 2018 Danish film of the same name, where an asthmatic 911 dispatcher with a troubled past tries to save a woman he believes has been kidnapped. It's a good premise that I was on board for, but it does kind of take away some of the magic of it that it's a remake of a film that came out 3 years ago. But I haven't seen that film, so I can only judge this movie on its own merit. And I really enjoyed it. Don't know if I loved it, but I liked it quite a bit. The trailer didn't get me excited at all. I did not like the trailer. But I made a bowl of ramen noodles and thought, what the hell? I'll put it on while I eat. And hey, I watched the whole thing and I gotta say, this may be Jake Gyllenhaal's second best performance behind Nightcrawler. He's not as manic and insane as that movie, but in some ways, this is an even more emotionally complex role. He plays a very arrogant, impatient man who thinks his way is always the right way. He's been demoted from being a police officer, and they keep telling us he has to be in court the next day for something bad he did in the past. They keep alluding to some crime he committed by constantly saying, "You ready for court tomorrow? Hey, good luck in court tomorrow. Hey, are you coming to court tomorrow?" So when the movie starts, he's very out of it, and you can tell his ego is bruised. He answers every phone call with a disinterest and boredom, and you can tell he just wants to get back out there and see some action. As if answering these people's calls is somehow underneath him. But then he gets a call from a woman who has been kidnapped by a stranger, and the movie really takes off. I guess he feels that he finally has a purpose at this useless job. He goes through the gambit of emotions, and you're with him every step of the way. He's yelling, screaming, sweating, getting frustrated, getting hysterical, puffing on his inhaler, and it was a blast to watch. He certainly has moments of pure insanity, but a lot of the time he holds back the emotion, almost to the point of exploding. And he definitely does a few times towards the end, but for the most part, this is a very subdued and controlled performance. He starts breaking down more and more throughout every scene, and they start peeling back the layers to where you see what's really going on in the film. He is so condescending to every person he talks to, and I'm not sure if he's ever played such a believable person that you could run into in the real world. He's a rude, impatient asshole, but he absolutely nailed it. Even when the plot or some of the dialogue got a little wacky or sloppy, his performance held the movie up. It was truly spectacular how invested I was in a movie that takes place 95% in one room. It all relied on him, and he killed it. It's just him on the phone with different people over and over and over, and somehow it kept my interest. And it makes you wonder whether he actually cares about this woman, or if he's just excited to see some action again. Sometimes you can't tell if he's actually doing it for her, or just to make himself feel better. For a low-budget thriller movie, the plot has to be engaging to keep the audience entertained. And hey, the plot really had me wondering what was going on, even though I did figure out the big twist about 45 minutes into it. I feel that they revealed too much information too soon, and that maybe the movie was about 10 minutes too long. Even at an hour and a half, it did feel like they were reaching for content at some points. Some phone calls lasted a bit too long, and it didn't feel like there was that much material to focus on. Although, sometimes in these types of movies, you kind of roll your eyes at how the main character gets certain information, like they do it in a ridiculous way just to keep the plot going. But here, I totally believed why and how he gets the information he does. And I think the plot progressed naturally. I also feel that some things that happen kind of make the movie impossible to rewatch for me. It's hard to explain it without spoilers, but some things happen where I don't exactly feel invested in the story, knowing all the details. That's all I'll say. It would be a very different rewatch, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. But they finally reveal what he did, what's going on with the kidnapping, and they try to tie the two stories together in a way that makes us care, but I'm not sure if it fully worked. The ending didn't blow me away. I just thought, cool. There's really not a lot I can say about this film except I recommend that you watch it. Gyllenhaal is excellent. And if you enjoy these types of mystery crime thrillers, you'll love this. Netflix hasn't really made a lot of original movies that I've liked, but this is one of them. I could imagine this being in a theater and I wouldn't have batted an eye. It doesn't feel like a Netflix production, and that's a good thing. Jake Gyllenhaal talks on the phone for an hour and a half, gets 7.5 out of 10 pickles from me. It's not quite great, but it's a fun movie held up by an amazing performance. And it's the perfect movie to put on while you're eating or need something to watch. Alright, you sons of bitches, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. And until we meet again, peace out.